So first of all, Arnav, thank you for your time today, and it would be like good if you can give a brief intro about yourself, like where you're from, what are you doing right now, and that all stuff.
Sure. So, hi everyone, I'm Arnav Saxena. I'm basically from New Delhi, India. I did my bachelor's in mathematics and computing engineering from Delhi Technological University. For those who don't know, it's a public university in New Delhi. After graduating in 2019, I joined Bain& and Company's private equity group as an analyst. Worked there for 2 years, and on the side, I was also working on some research projects with my undergrad professors. So my experience overall made me realize that I wanted to pivot towards hardcore data science role, like technical data science roles. And yeah, ultimately that's what inspired me to apply to Columbia for my masters. And I'm pursuing my masters in data science right now. Currently, just like Rudyo, just like everyone else who's here, I'm looking for my internships, preparing for them, and that's pretty much it. If I should talk about what sort of interest I have in terms of data science, I'm really into machine learning and natural language processing. I'm exploring computer vision, but we'll see how that goes.
Sure, great introduction. My first question would be like, why data science? Because like everybody from every other background is going into data science, and they don't have a clue like
Yeah,
what data science is. So like, why MDS?
got it. um, so when I was in my first year of my undergrad, that was the first time when I got introduced to data science, and it wasn't that big a thing back then. I'm talking about 2015.
Okay,
None of my seniors have pursued data science, so no one was there to guide me as such. So I had to literally map my way out. And what that provided me was an understanding of what data science is really about. Uh, it's Data science is all about solving puzzles.
yeah,
You have some data, you're supposed to, and it's completely mysterious. You're supposed to churn out some insights out of
yeah,
it, churn out some stories out of it, and I find it really, really interesting. So back in my undergrad, I started participating in various datathons, hackathons. I did an internship with Deloitte as a data scientist, and all those projects they helped me realize that I really want to pursue data science ultimately. But when I was graduating in 2019, most of the companies they have this requirement that they would only want to hire a master student
yeah,
for a data science
yeah.
related position. I'm talking about 2019 right now. I think it's it's easier right now in 2021, I guess,
I think it's a
but
similar
it was
thing
a condition in
because
2019.
I apply at the night and 10 a.m. I get a rejection. So I think that's the same stuff till now.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it. So yeah, so I knew that I had to go for my masters because
yeah,
this course ultimately requires a lot of academic rigor.
yeah.
It really requires a lot of academic understanding while you're working. And yeah, so that's how I knew I want to go for my masters. Now, to talk about why specifically data science, I was looking for machine learning related roles as well, software engineering related roles as well. But during my undergrad, I realized that that's not for me.
Yeah.
I did try participating in, all these competitive programming
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
competitions, and though I was able to study enough to crack the initial rounds that the companies have, but I realized that I'm not really enjoying that.
Yeah.
And if and while I was preparing for data science, however, I really enjoyed studying statistics. I really enjoyed, uh, doing the case studies, case interviews that data science interviews require. So I knew that I'm going to enjoy it moving
Yeah.
forward, and that's why data science. What about you?
Yeah, like similar process. Not in first year, I took like machine learning course. Coding blocks in New Delhi. There's a small startup,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, I did a course from there. And from the third year, I like straight got into it. Like before that, I tried everything: front end, back end, Android. Like nothing worked for me. But then third year, I took a course of machine learning, and like straight away, I was like, hey, this is it. This is what I want to do right now. Maybe not in the 20
Uh-huh.
years after that, but right now I want to do data science and
Right now,
machine learning.
yeah, yeah.
So and I didn't even get an internship for 3 years in my bachelor's. Like I got three internships like in the
Okay.
last year. So that's how i
Oh, okay.
i started like in the third year. So and yeah, data science
Interesting.
for me is like machine learning. I am not towards that statistics side. Like I don't like statistics, like not that much. Like I can code machine
I
learning,
understand.
NLP, I can do that all stuff, Jupyter notebook,
Uh-huh.
and I can do the coding stuff. But if I want to apply statistics, like not a big fan. So
That's fine. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It's just that most of the interviews that I'm giving right now for the internships,
Yeah.
they have a statistics component for sure.
Oh, okay.
And that's like a screener, that's in the screener round. I'm not even talking about the interviews.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you might have to buckle up for that.
So I wanted to ask you like right now, it's like what are your internship strategies like? Who are like for myself also I can take help from this and people coming to US. Like what is the thought process?
Mhm.
Like how do you approach internship process? Like do you like straight away get to LinkedIn and apply or like any other strategy which you work on?
um so I have a couple of things that I do. So first of all, Columbia, in fact, that's true for almost every Ivy League college, that their career placement cell is like really, really active.
Yeah, yeah,
So unlike my friends who are in other universities, they need to search for these most of the jobs themselves.
yeah.
That's not the case for me because my placement cell, it keeps on notifying me of whatever job has opened up.
Okay.
They keep in touch with the companies, so I don't really have to worry too much about searching for jobs.
Yeah,
And since those companies are in touch with a career placement cell, I'm guessing, I mean, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but my understanding is that these companies have some sort of relationship with Columbia.
yeah, yeah,
They know the kind of students that are coming out, so they are slightly more likely to hire people from Columbia.
yeah.
So that's the first kind of companies I'm applying to, which are coming directly from my career placement cell.
Okay.
The second ones are those that I'm finding on LinkedIn. um, I try to reach out to people who are working in those companies so that I can get some sort of referral.
Like
So,
what's your
sometimes
acceptance
I
rate
book
in
a
that?
coffee
Like
chat.
do people respond like hey because I've been reaching out to
People do
people,
respond.
yeah, like 1 in 10, right?
Yeah, yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, I mean, I would say about 40%.
Okay. You have
And
a
I
pretty good
understand
rate.
people are
Yeah.
really busy because the thing is, see, it's not just me.
Yeah.
I don't know the number of students right now here in the US, but all of them are reaching out to
Yeah.
these people,
Yeah.
right? So until unless I have a very personal connection, it's difficult to tap into this
Yeah.
network. But people do respond back. I would say about 40% of people, strangers, random strangers, they do respond back. uh, and yeah, people are willing to help, so I remember Steve Jobs was being interviewed and he asked about what's the difference between dreamers and achievers and stuff like that, and he talked about a story wherein he reached out to someone in HP saying that, hey, I would like to do an internship with you, and I know these skills,
Yeah.
and I won't charge you for any money, would you be willing to help me out? And the guys from HP were like, fine, sure, come
Okay.
here, like, take whatever stuff you need, take whatever hardware you need. And what he wanted to share with the story was that you just need to reach out to people and people are willing to help you out.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
try reaching out. It's fine to be rejected, it would happen, but it's worth it.
Yeah. So like talking about rejections, like how do you handle rejections? Like do you like sunk in for a few days and then get back at it or like shrug it off and like the next day you keep going? So how do you handle them?
um so since I've been through once during my undergrad,
Yeah.
right, I know that rejections don't really matter, because ultimately it's all about learning from those rejections. Every interview that I've given, I've been rejected from two companies so far after the interviews, and honestly, the, I really learned where my gaps were, and I've tried to work on them, and that those interviews have actually helped me with other interviews. You know, also, like, my sister, she right now is in her undergrad, so she went through a similar phase just last year when
Yeah.
she was applying for internships. So that again, sort of helped me revisit that phase and understand
Yeah.
that, yeah, it's fine, rejections will happen. It's all about keeping your on just improving yourself, just do that.
Got it. Yeah. So like you are studying at Columbia. So like if anyone wants to like get into Columbia, so is there a specific profile they're looking at? Because I myself applied to MDS and Columbia but didn't get
Hmm.
in. So like is there
Okay.
a something they are looking at which you find in your application which like made a positive impact when applying to
Hmm.
Columbia?
So now again, this is not going to be something official, but something that I've observed
Yeah.
after coming here.
Yeah.
I don't really know any of my friends who have scored lower than 9 GPA
Okay.
until unless they're from IIT.
Okay.
So if people are from IITs, I know some of them who have scored 8.5, 8.6, 8, even 8,
Yeah.
and they're here. But non-IITians, including people from DTU or whatever state college you might want to add in here,
Yeah.
none of them have scored less than 9 GPA. In fact,
Okay.
to be honest, I think I'm the lowest non-IITian with the lowest GPA. My GPA is exactly 9,
Okay.
9.03. I have not found anyone who has scored lower than me in the undergrad. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
Secondly, they really look forward to understand whether you will be able to cope up with the academic rigor at Columbia.
Okay.
Because unlike most colleges, we have this is something again I've understood by talking to my friends that I have more subjects as compared to my other friends,
Yeah.
and the course load is actually much greater than a few
Yep.
other colleges. So they do look at that whether you have studied statistics and probability, and if you have had a mathematically heavy background already or not.
Yeah.
Because if that's not the case, then they feel that you might not be able to cope up with the studies.
Yeah.
So these are two things I would say. So yeah, if someone is applying right now, GPA is something that matters. That's what I've observed. And the other two things that they look at is whether you have good enough mathematical background, and whether you have some, I would say, decent programming background as well. Whether you know how to code in Python or R, at least one of those.
Okay.
That's what they look at.
So do they look
So
at
these three
GRE
things.
scores also? Like, because I've seen a lot of people like 320, 325 like easily get in. So like, do these scores
Two,
matters, or like is it a like filtering criteria?
I don't think so. I don't think so. So last year, I mean, if you remember, I don't know about this year, but last year GRE was optional.
Okay.
So many people did not give GRE at all.
Okay.
I gave my GRE back in 2018 while in college, so I did submit my score, but I don't think it really mattered.
Okay.
And most of the universities, from what I know, they have done away with GRE this year, including UC Berkeley as well. So I don't really think GRE matters.
But like,
But if you're submitting a score,
yeah, go
I
ahead.
think quant might matter.
Yeah.
If they have to really filter you out on the basis of GRE, quant is something you should focus on. And anything below 169, especially for Indians,
Yeah. Yeah.
might be problematic.
Yeah. Like, have you seen people like not giving GRE? Because I personally haven't seen like people, if there is optional GRE
Oh,
and they
many.
don't apply for the GRE part and they get in. I haven't seen people have. Do you
I
have?
know many. I know. Yeah, yeah. Many friends of mine, they have not given GRE last year,
Oh, okay.
and they applied directly. Yeah,
That's like really surprising because I was thinking that optional is just a criteria that, but they will still look at GRE scores because the top applicants will still give the GRE and will still submit the scores.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand why you're saying that, and I thought that, but I know, like, many of my roommates, they did not give GRE.
Okay.
So I know many people who did not give their GRE, who are in Colombia right now. Many.
Okay, great. So, like, how is the program
Yeah.
structure at Columbia? Because, like, first of all, like, let me give my opinion on UCIMDS. Like, we are the first batch right
Uh-huh.
now, and it just launched like last year. So, like, the
Okay.
course structure is like pretty good, but they don't allow us to like take courses. So, like, there's a fixed curriculum, and you just have to take them. So, I think that's the
Oh,
negative
okay.
part when you don't want to
Got
study
it.
some subject and you have to study. So, I
You
think
have to
that's
study
the
more.
only
Yeah.
negative which I can find out like doing first quarter here. And yeah, the
Uh-huh.
second one would be like career phase, because like we had two career phase and like not a lot of good companies came into this, so we have to like do our own research
Hmm.
and start from zero
Got
and
it.
go to LinkedIn and reach out to people. So I think these two are the negatives which I found. Like,
Got it.
what do you think about the MDS at Columbia? Like, is there any
Colombia.
downsides?
Hmm. So just talking about these 2 points that you raised right now, I would say Colombia does better.
Okay.
So w- we have 9 subjects that we need to take during our curriculum or
Okay.
during our entire program. 6 are core courses that are like mandatory, and 3 are electives.
Okay.
But even those 6 courses, the core courses, they could be waived off if you have studied them in undergrad, or if
Okay.
you can show some sort of learning through your work experience, you can
Okay.
waive them off easily.
Okay.
I myself waived off a few subjects this
But you
semester.
can't change them, right?
We can change them. So basically, so for example, I waived off algorithms and data structures.
Yeah, similar.
It was a core subject for data
Yeah.
science, and instead I took neural networks and deep learning this semester.
Okay.
So you can
Okay.
also, it's not really necessary that you really take a course instead of an elective. You can do some research work under a professor, and that would be counted towards your credits as well.
Oh,
So that
okay.
way it's very flexible.
Got it.
And that was one of the most important things I wrote down in my SOP as well, like why Columbia.
Okay.
Talking about career fair, same here. We have had 2 career fairs. One was for like everyone in the engineering school, and one was specifically for data science students.
Okay.
From as per my knowledge, we will be having another career fair. I think 2 more career fairs starting in Feb or March, something like that.
So like, do all the top
About the type
companies
of
come in?
companies.
So like FANG companies, like
Uh,
do they come in?
okay, so many top companies came in.
Okay.
If I'm to talk about FANG, I know Amazon came in,
Okay.
Facebook came in, Netflix did not, Google did not. So the thing is, you know, majorly companies based in New York, they like to come to Colombia.
Yeah.
And every major company you can think of, JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley, BCG, many private equity funds, many
Yeah.
investment firms, many banking firms, they all came in. Many startups came in. So I would say that the companies, they were much more indexed towards being in the northeast region of USA than in
Okay.
California.
Okay.
There were certain startups and companies from California as well. I think Oracle was there, MongoDB was there in my career fair. But yeah, it's slightly more indexed towards northeast.
Okay.
About any downsides, the only downside I feel is that I really found the curriculum to be very hectic this semester,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
sense that I couldn't find time to do anything else at all.
Like, are you
So
doing a
that
part-time job?
sort of, I'll talk about it later maybe.
Okay.
I'll be taking a job this semester. So the
Okay.
thing is, since it was too much in the very first semester, and I was trying to adjust myself to how Colombia and New York is,
Yeah.
I decided to give myself some break this semester, and instead I got a fellowship. Um, it's different. I think we can talk about it in another question. So
Sure.
I was doing some sort of a job already, but not a proper RShip or TShip, if that's what you're
Okay.
thinking.
Yeah.
So the course curriculum, I found it to be a bit too much, and it sort of was creating problems for me while I was trying to study for internships. I was trying to apply for internships. That's the only downside I would say. But I
Okay.
think now, having gone through the first semester, I understand what the pattern is like. I understand the system better. So hopefully, the spring semester it would not be that problematic.
Yeah.
And
So
also,
yeah.
the last semester, the third semester. So for those who don't know, Columbia is only a third. The MSDS program at Columbia, it only lasts for 3 semesters.
Oh, okay.
So in our third semester, we only have one subject and one capstone project, and that's it. Yeah. So hopefully, I'm sure third semester would be much lighter as
Yeah.
compared to the first semester. So yeah,
So like, it's only a 3
that's pretty
semester.
much it.
Yeah. Because we have a quarter
Only for three
system,
semesters.
and like quarter system is like very,
Uh-huh.
very hectic, because 6 months into like 3 months, and like
Oh yeah.
yeah, because you say as a
And how
quarter
many
system,
courses do you have in a quarter?
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, like it's very, very
That's a
hectic
lot.
right now, because like we can't do part-time jobs, because you can't even study for these 3 courses enough,
Uh,
because we study
yeah.
in January, February, March 12 we have an exam, then study 2 months, and we have another exam. So like it's very, very hectic. I think
I
all the
understand.
UCs have quarter system, so you are in a good space like
Uh,
doing the semester system. So
I don't think so. I have a friend in UC Berkeley, and I don't think he has a quarter system.
like for the MDS
I'm not
program.
sure. I might be wrong. No, not in the MDS program. He's in the, what is it called? MIMS program, Masters
Okay.
in
Okay.
Information Management and Sciences. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he has a quarter system. He has a semester system only.
Then I think he'll do good. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so like one
I
thing
hope so.
people don't talk about is like the struggles when coming to the US. So like, did you face anyone, like any struggle? Because I did face a lot. Like, we'll talk about this later. But did you face any struggles, like any culture shock or homesickness and that
Okay.
also?
Not really. So no,
Yeah.
I did not face any cultural shock. I mean, academically, I found myself struggling at the very starting,
Yeah.
because I was not expecting assignments to be this difficult.
Yeah.
But that was just in the initial first 2 months. After that, I got a hang of it and I started working on it. In terms of cultural shock, not at all, because New York as such is very cosmopolitan. You can
It's a
find
moving
many
city.
Asian students,
Yeah.
you can find many Asian students, Indian students, working here, living here. So no one can really know that you are an outsider
Yeah.
unless you tell them,
Yeah.
right? Secondly, I'm living in an international dormitory.
Oh,
So
okay.
this dormitory houses about 60 countries, represent 60 countries.
Oh, that's great.
Like just on my floor where I'm living, I have people from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Singapore,
Like, do they call it the I
France,
house?
Germany. iHouse, yeah. Do you know
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I've lived in I house. Like, I
Yeah.
went to Berkeley Summer School in 2019. So I
Oh,
lived
okay,
there.
okay, interesting.
Like, it's a perfect place to
Yeah,
live
yeah. So
now.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you remember the fellowships and financial aids I was talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
I got them from iHouse only.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we can cover them later. It is pretty much taken care of every living expense that I need to pay for this
Okay.
semester. I don't need to pay
Okay.
anything,
Okay.
including rent, food, everything. Everything
Yeah.
is covered. So yeah. So what happened was, since I was in an international house, since I was staying with 60 people, six people representing 60 countries, and I'm a programs fellow here. What that
Okay.
means is I'm supposed to organize multicultural programs at
Yeah.
iHouse,
Got it.
and that requires me to talk with people from different
Yeah.
nationalities. I need to host round tables. I need to host some sort of debate, some sort of conferences. That helped me, climb up the globalization ladder, in the sense that I never really felt that I'm an outsider. I
Yeah.
adjusted
Yeah.
very quickly, since I was interacting with so many nationalities every day.
Yeah.
I think that's what helped me out. About homesickness, I don't think I had the time to feel homesick,
Okay.
honestly, because every day, like, I mean, there's not been a single day so far where I thought that, okay, I'm gonna relax today. I'm not going to do anything. But yeah, definitely, I talk to my parents every day. I have a video chat with them, and I think that's true for all international
Yeah.
students, and that helps. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What about you? Yeah, you told me you struggled.
Yeah, like I did struggle a lot because I faced a lot of like racism like during the first few days. I didn't want to talk about
Oh,
it
okay.
openly, so that's why I didn't. But like it was a very uh, racist thing which happened at like in Irvine only to me, and that took a toll on
Oh,
me. And then like I constantly struggled and struggled, but then regained my like conscience and strength back. So
that's good. That's
yeah,
good.
so and like
So
I've
I
been
mean,
never been out of my like Delhi. So like my college was Guru Gobind Singh Indravasta, which is in Delhi, Dwarka only,
oh, okay.
and I also
Yeah,
live in
yeah,
Dwarka. So like it's for 15 minutes drive to my college,
yeah.
and then I suddenly
Yeah,
one day
yeah.
come to the US. So whole new life. So yeah,
I so understand. I mean, that's great that you rebounded
yeah,
quickly. So it's the same story for me. I've been in the Delhi NCR region for my entire life.
yeah,
I grew up in Noida. I studied in Delhi. I was working in Gurgaon. So yeah,
yeah.
um, I was really hoping that I will face some sort of struggle,
Okay,
but thankfully nothing of that sort has happened so far. I've
fingers
not
crossed.
faced even a single
Yeah,
case of, yeah, fingers crossed, touch wood. I've not faced any case of racism as such. People have generally been nice
yeah,
and have been very very helpful so far. And I'm traveling a lot in New York City. There's a lot to see here.
yeah,
So obviously I'm
definitely.
traveling a lot, and everyone has been kind to me so far.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I think that's because the fabric of the city is very cosmopolitan.
Yeah, because people like in a it's a closed city, not like California. Like everybody is like spread out. You have to go to like a drive
Yeah,
to meet people and that also. If you just walk outside and you see a lot of people driving and like walking by, so I think that's the main factor here.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So like talking about New York. So like how costly is it to live? So like my rent right now I'm living with four people and it's $1,000 even after living with four people. So
Oh.
yeah. So like how
So,
expensive is New
like,
York?
just a question here: is Irvine a proper city, or is it a college town like Davis?
Uh, like we don't have anything except the campus here. Like there's no restaurants here. There's no
So it's a college town.
yeah. It's not a city life. You have to go to LA for that. So in Irvine
Oh,
you can do
that's
hiking.
strange.
There are a lot of
Okay.
hiking mountains and that also.
Yeah, yeah,
There are like 12,
yeah.
15 you want to do hiking. This is a place to be. But if you want to like enjoy the city life, you have to go to LA. So unfortunately, that's not here.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay, so I'll talk about New York. I'll talk about my expenses,
yeah,
and I'll talk about some of what my friends are paying. So for me, as I've told you, at least for this semester, for spring semester, I don't have to pay anything in rent, anything in electricity, anything like that. I just
due to
need to
the
take care of
fellowship.
my food due to the fellowship and the
Got it.
financial aid I've received at International House.
Got it. Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, I'm living in a dorm room. So, just to give you guys an idea, if you guys have been in a hostel, it's similar to that.
Okay.
It's a single room. It
Yeah.
does not have any attached bathroom or kitchen as such.
Yeah.
We have a communal bathroom. We have cafeteria. We have communal kitchen. When we can go and cook together, but no private kitchen or no private bathroom. And this room costs. The rent is about $1,200
Okay.
for this room. But the thing is, like, we are
Without
in
utilities.
Manhattan. including everything, including
Okay.
Wi-Fi, including electricity,
Okay.
heating, water, everything
Okay.
included,
Yeah.
except food.
Okay.
So everything included is $1,200. But
And
the thing is, like, this
I
is
think the best part
Manhattan.
about iHouse is that food is only located in the iHouse, so you don't have to go outside.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Food, that's very much true. So okay, so let me talk about iHouse a bit. iHouse has two blocks in, at least in New York City. I don't know about Berkeley. One is completely like a hostel we have in India, and the other building, it's more of an apartment style rooms.
Okay.
So basically, you get to stay with 3 or 4 people, and you get one bedroom each. There you have private bathrooms and a kitchen for the 4 of you or 3 of you. Obviously, their rent is a little higher, but it's not much higher. I think you can get a room in about $1,600 a month. And I know I say not much higher because I'm talking about New York City in
Yeah.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Manhattan is very, very costly.
Yeah.
So $1,500, if you think about that, it's not that bad. Uh, yeah, so that's about the rent. So $1,200 for a single dorm room, and about $1,500 $1,600 for about a bedroom in an apartment like
Yep.
setting,
Private apartment.
private apartment.
Yeah.
I'm talking about iHouse only right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
If you go out of iHouse, I have friends who have been able to find rooms for about $800 $900.
Oh,
Because the thing is, the rent in New York this year, it's going down
due to COVID.
because of COVID. People are
Yeah.
moving out, and the demand has dropped a bit.
Yeah.
So people were able to find some really good deals. But these $800 $900 rooms, they are like very small, smaller than my dorm room.
Okay.
But it's manageable. Like, since it's about 16 months, it's you just need to stay for 16 months, right? So for 16 months, it's decent, I would say.
Yeah.
$800 for rent. On top of that, you can expect about $50 $60 for utilities, electricity, Wi-Fi, heating, etc. On top of that, for food, you can expect something between $300 to $400
Okay.
extra. So if you can be smart enough in finding a room, and if you can be frugal enough to, I wouldn't say frugal, but don't spend money like unnecessarily.
Yeah.
You can manage to stay in New York City, in Manhattan near Columbia, for about $1,200 to $1,300. If you want to, like, live in luxury, like, then sky is the limit.
Yeah.
You can find apartments going up to $4,000. You can
Yeah.
get a studio for that. I mean, you can spend as much as you want, but yeah, uh, on an average, you might expect to spend about $1,200 to $1,500 per month in New York City.
Okay. And like talking about Columbia, so like how expensive like is Columbia, because it's an Ivy League college and the fees must be high. So
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think I should have talked about this in the downside about Columbia being a private school, that too in New York City. I think it's one of the most expensive colleges in the USA, from what I know. Only CMU is costlier than Columbia, from
okay.
as per my research. So yeah, it's actually pretty expensive. Um, there are certain fellowships for, I would say, I should say scholarships for Indian students. I think I don't recall them right now, but there's one which I think we can probably put it in the description of the video maybe,
Okay.
and that pretty much covers everything in your tuition, that scholarship, and it's specifically for Indian students.
Okay.
So if you're applying to Columbia, I would highly recommend you to try that out. um, Apart from that, the CA ships and TA ships, RS ships, they pay decently well. They
Okay.
pay you enough so that you're at least able to cover your living expenses easily. Unlike UCs, where I think the salary is fixed,
Yeah.
here it depends on your hours, the number of hours you're working. um, just a few days back, it was updated that the minimum wage is about $21 per hour at Columbia. So depending upon the number of hours you're working, you can estimate how much money you can make.
Okay.
You can take up two TA ships, RA ships, and save money as well. And
Yeah.
but I don't think it's feasible here because the
You don't get time.
curriculum is so hectic.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can take one TA ship or one RA ship a semester, but that should be it. You should not push much more than that.
I think MDS as a
Yeah.
professional program at UCI, we are not allowed to do T and RA. So unfortunately, we can't apply
Oh,
because it's a
okay.
professional
Okay.
program and you don't have time for part time. So like you are not even saving a penny like before you graduate. So
That's really sad. So my friend at UC Berkeley, his life is pretty good because as an RA, he's earning about $2,000 per month,
yeah, I know. It
and
must be.
and I think he's getting about 40 or 50% rebate in
Yeah,
his tuition fee for
tuition
that
fees.
semester
Yep.
as well. So that was good. I mean,
Yeah, your
he
tuition
can buy a car.
becomes
He was
half,
planning
and
to buy a car.
yeah, definitely people buy car. Like my roommate is doing MSCS, and his tuition is
Uh-huh.
50%, and he is also getting $3,000 to $4,000 per month. So
Interesting.
you're
Yeah.
studying and earning, so no way better than
Yeah,
this.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, the flip side is, you get to graduate in 3 semesters, unlike
Yep.
other colleges. So you have those 6 months of extra earnings that you get. I think that pretty much covers it all. By the way, like for those who are thinking about the fees, if you compare the fees for MSTS Columbia with MIMS at UC Berkeley that my friend is doing, it's exactly the same for some reasons.
So
So
like how much
MIMS
is
at
the I-20
Berkeley,
amount? Because mine was like around 78K, like the whole I-20 amount.
okay. So the I-20 amount would be a little, deceptive,
Yeah.
because we have so out of 30 credits, we need to complete 24 credits within the first academic year.
Okay.
Our third semester is pretty much free, as I talked
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So our entire cost is being covered in the I-20. So it's about, I think it's $87,000 for us. But
Okay.
then again, like, keep this in mind that it covers 24 out of 30 credits.
Okay.
You don't really have to pay anything for the third semester. It's about $10,000 more.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Uh, 87,000 is the I-20 amount. If I'm to talk about just the tuition fee and education expenses for an MSTS last year, it was about $75,000.
Okay.
For UC Berkeley, it was $80,000 for some
Okay.
reasons.
I think it's a
But again,
double.
they get
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can get TA-ship, RA-ship, and obviously cut it down
Yeah.
at UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately is not possible at Columbia, because, as I said, TA-ship, RA-ship only covers your living expenses.
Got it.
That
Yeah.
too, I don't think completely, because it's expensive here.
Got it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So like
But I don't know about you, but I know many friends in UCs, and even here at Columbia, we got some COVID financial aid this semester.
oh, like
Did you hear
we
about it?
no, we didn't get any.
Oh, okay. So I have a friend in UC Davis, and even at Columbia, we there was this state-sponsored funding
Okay.
given because of COVID. So if you could show that you really needed money, if you really needed a financial aid, I think students were given $2,000, up to $2,000,
Okay.
just like that.
Okay. Like we didn't
So
get any.
that helped a
So
bit.
yeah. Got it.
Okay, okay.
So great. So like, do you have any last tips for like students coming to the US, like for MSTS in Colombia or in general life? Any life tips you want to give to them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have lived through it all to
Yeah.
give any tips,
Yeah.
but still, if I need to talk about something, be smart with your finances. Even if you're coming to New York City, there are many avenues where you can earn. So, for example, international house.
Yeah.
Google international house if you're coming to New York City. It might save you a lot of money. Um, don't be afraid in taking on-campus jobs. When I say afraid, I mean don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
So if you don't get TA-ship, RA-ship, it's fine to take job at cafeterias,
Yeah.
or any cafes or anything like that which is in your campus. It's actually fun. To be honest, I have a few friends working there, and it seems very fun.
Because here like everybody is
Uh,
like doing that job, so like if in India you were doing that
exactly,
job, you would be like judged, but not here. So
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Be open about your finances and be smart with your finances. That's the first tip. Second tip, I would say academically. During my undergrad, I would say I was an above average student at least. I never really struggled academically, but after coming here, I realized the system is very much different.
Yeah.
The assignments here hold a lot of weightage, and the assignments here are actually difficult to crack.
Yeah.
They really require you to, attend the classes and then solve it. They really require you to reach out to the TAs to get any doubt solved. So be ready to brace the academic struggle. It's real.
Yeah.
And thirdly, I would say try to be open enough to reach out to people whenever you need help,
Okay.
because other students and other professionals, they have been in your shoes a while back, and they understand your struggle. So mostly people would be willing to help you out if you reach out.
Yeah.
So yeah, feel free, be open to reach out. It's fine if someone does not respond, because people are busy. You will get busy when you'll reach here, so you'll understand why they might not respond in time. But most of the time, people are really helpful, people are really kind, people understand that you have been through something, you're struggling right now, and they would be willing to help. So yeah,
Got it.
that's all I have learned so far.
I think
This
that's
this is just one first semester.
yeah. I think that's pretty like a good advice. I think a lot of students will be reaching out to you about the MTS Columbia. I think they might be right now. Like you must be getting LinkedIn
Yeah,
messages.
yeah. I mean that's happening.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I've not been able to help out in detail to a lot
yeah.
because the thing is, students are reaching out, asking me to read their SOPs,
SOPs.
and
Exactly.
even
Yeah.
though and I can read your SOP, but to give you a very pinpointed answer, it takes a lot of time.
Yep.
I need to analyze your SOP perfectly,
Yeah.
and so though I try to help them out as much as I can, especially since we have our vacations going on right now, I have some time. It's try to understand, guys. It's not that we don't have that much time, so don't don't feel bad about it.
Got
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah.
all I will say.
So like, thank you for your
But yeah,
time.
feel free to
Arnav.
reach out
Yeah.
if you have any questions. Sorry, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out to Rijul. He has applied to many universities. He'll be able to help you out better. And if you have any questions regarding Columbia, New York City, International House, feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to help you.
Great. So like, thank you for your time today, Arnav, and like it really means a lot to have this conversation. And yeah, we'll stay in touch definitely.
Sure, yeah. It was great to be here. I enjoyed our conversation a lot.
Great.
So yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Arnav. Have a good day.
Yeah, same here, man. Bye.
Bye bye.